Hello and welcome to the program Inspire Children. It's that time again where we have very critical discussions that do affect our children, their well-being, that affect the parental journey, that affect the nation, and overall it affects generations to come. Today we have got a very critical and important conversation that we're going to have. It's always good to have fathers in the house to speak to us. And when we listen to their words of wisdom and advice, guess what? We are poised for success. We are positioned to experience goodness in terms of the lives of our children. Today we have a special guest in the house, and I believe you're going to have a very wonderful time. And I invite you to sit down, to learn, to glean the wisdom, and to apply those words of wisdom that we'll receive today. Today we have in the house Apostle Tosin Davido. Welcome, Apostle, to Inspire Children.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have.
It's a pleasure to have you, and it's good to have you. When I just reflected on my journey as a university student, that story cannot be complete without talking about you. Because when we were sitting as young people and hearing those words of wisdom, and when we applied those words of wisdom, they did impact our lives. And today we have you here today, and we desire that you may share that wisdom that you have been carrying for many years, and the journey that you continue to move with young people, with children, with families all over the country. And so just to start our conversation, Apostle, today, I just want you just to give us a highlight. I know you've done lots of work. You've been part of many committees working towards impacting the lives of children in Zimbabwe. What has been the general view? What have you been seeing over these many years?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you.
I think to attend to your question, yes, I think as a parent, number one,
Yes.
I have seen a lot. I have also 4 children
Wow.
that are now grown up, but also in the space that you are talking about over the years,
Yes.
I've seen a lot that has happened that can help us today as we just chat around the children. The space is such a way that it needs to be occupied with proper things, otherwise we lose our children.
Yes.
So there are issues that I think what I've observed is that society is not necessarily very responsible when it comes to children. We are very responsible in bringing them up to birth in terms of preparation.
Yes.
You go to any hospital, every clinic, any pregnant woman is prepared to
Yes.
deliver.
Yeah.
But once we have delivered those children, we don't then continue with the preparedness in terms of raising them, which then creates a lot of gaps that we then see.
Wow. Yes.
So I think that's where we start. So maybe in our conversation we'll look at what then can be done.
You know, you've said something that is really profound. To say people, they do prepare to bring children into the world, but they don't prepare the rest of the journey to support them. So, Doctor, over the years, there have been so many phases that have affected families generally. What has been the impact? I know we could talk, we can even start the conversation to the early 90s, where we had a scourge of HIV and AIDS impact, orphans, and we have new dynamics coming in. What has been the experience? What has been happening to the family setup, to the lives of children in general?
Yeah, I think there are 2 or 3 issues that come into light. One is what you were talking about, the HIV in the 80s, 90s, before the ARVs came in. A lot of people, I think we had at one time around 2,000 people dying every week. I even have a book that I've written to that extent through HIV. So what it then does, it then defranchised the family setup because we were then losing prime people who were living very young children, some of them infected, some of them not infected, but then going and leaving them exposed. We also had the second challenge where now people were emigrating to different nations for survival. So you now had families that now one spouse will remain in Zimbabwe, the other is looking in the green pastures to feed the family. And that on its own is a disaster on families' structure to raise up children that are holistic. So that was that. Then the third challenge that then came is the global development in terms of technology. We also now we have had technology coming in and gadgets now replacing parents in terms of the children. So if you put all those things together,
It's compounded.
if the parents are absent, it's a disaster that it comes out of those. Yeah, the gap created by the AIDS pandemic, the migration to other nations by parents, and also the last one that I was talking about.
Yeah. It's a compound of events that is affecting the journey of our children, and it ultimately affects the outcomes as well, what they become in adult life. So Apostle, from where you stand, what are some of the critical intervention points that you feel we need to think about, we need to apply, not only as communities but also as a nation?
Yeah, I think the solution starts as society. Like for me, when I was growing up in the 60s, 70s, we had what is called a communal parenthood. So I was not the son of Mr. and Mrs. Ndebele, but I was a child in the community. Any person could reprimand me if they saw me doing what was wrong. I could be beaten, and if I go and report to my parents that I've been beaten by someone, you will have a secondary beating. So there was a communal parenting that must happen. I think that's the first thing that we need to bring back in terms of in our communities, because all our children, whether they are at school, in that community we have adults who are teachers. And so if they play their role, we should also have a community. In our communities, when our children are coming out of our house, if the community is also responsible, we will not have our children standing, doing drugs, having boyfriends and standing by the corners in terms of the community. So we also need that, while that is a moral persuasion rather than a legal perspective, but it works in terms of putting back together. So that's number one. Number two is when now people have been scattered in different countries and families are divided, the first thing is they must begin to say family comes first. So let's come together. Either we suffer together, but together.
And, Apostle, you're about to touch something that is critical. We want to come back to it soon after the break. Viewers, do not go away. Welcome, viewers, to the program Inspire Children. Today we have in the house Apostle Thusi Ndebele, and he's sharing critical issues with us that will impact the lives of our children. So Apostle, I want to go. There's something that you mentioned that is very critical, the communal part. So are we saying that when that aspect was decayed, it brought so many problems? Like now we have children, they don't honor the voices of adults per se. Probably they want only to hear their biological parents. Could it have been something that also contributed greatly to what we are seeing, rebellious behavior, drinking, smoking, and a child can smoke in front of some adult and they will not be able to say anything? Could we say that is some of the things that contributed?
Yes, I think that arrogance of the children emanates from us, the parents, as well. Because the moment you carry a thought or an idea to your children to say, I am your father and your mother, anyone else cannot speak to you, you are already creating a disaster. But when you tell your children and raise them in a godly way, where you say everyone who is my age is your father, everyone who is your age of your mother is your mother. So when now the people are coming into their space, they will respect them. So the first correction should be with us parents, to say we don't build our own islands with our children. When crisis comes, you need society. So let's make sure that we enforce to our children that whenever we are speaking, and when any other people are speaking, be it at school and everything, they should listen. So that will then help.
Yeah.
I have personally done it in my community.
Wow.
I see a boy and a girl standing together. I park my car. I confront them. What are you doing here?
Yes.
To your parents, here.
Yes.
And they quickly apologize and they say, disperse. What are you doing here? You are too young to be doing what you are doing. And in my offices in town, also they come, we are upstairs. So sometimes you find they are wearing uniform. They are wanting to be having conversation. When I come and confront them and I tell them the dangers, that they are not ready for things like this.
Yes.
So I take responsibility for that because I am a father who must be responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do, the Bible says, do unto others what you want to be done to you. So I will expect someone to do to my children the same way I'm doing to that.
Hey,
Yeah.
so Apostle, what you are really zooming into there is that the first responsibility is for adults to take their place.
Yes.
And take their responsibility and realize that it's our responsibility to shape what the nation becomes of. Someone once said something very critical some few weeks ago, and they say it to us: we must not be surprised with what the outcomes
Yes.
that we see in adult life, because it's us who have seeded into those things. And I feel like what you're saying is just that, to say if we parents don't lay the right foundation, we must not expect a different harvest. We would have harvested. Thank you very much for that, Apostle. So you were about to share, okay, what are the other interventions that we need to talk about? So you talked about the communal. So we are saying the communal aspect, whether in any sphere, needs to be restored. What else do we need to see being put in place?
The second one I was speaking about, where I was starting to speak, was a situation where now we need then to also take responsibility in terms of coming together.
Yeah.
We have recognized we have a crisis where families, because of people looking for sustenance, that they're in different places. But that must not be ahead of family. Because you can have money at the end of the day and have a broken family. You not enjoy that money.
Exactly.
So we always say it is better for you to be together. Whether you're in the diaspora,
Yes.
move together with your children. If not, you come back. Whenever you are in the trenches together with your children, they learn more than when you send and give them things. A lot of parents in the diaspora, they are struggling there now. Their children are into drugs without them knowing, but they're sending a lot of money to them.
Yeah.
They have put them in good schools. Children are not looking necessarily for good schools, but they are looking for parents to be there.
To be there.
And you cannot be replaced by money or goodies that you are being given. So my second issue is, let's be together.
Yeah.
The Bible actually says in Proverbs 22 verse 6, train up a child.
Yeah.
Training is not education.
Exactly.
Education, we find it at schools. Training is where you demonstrate.
Yeah.
So children must see you
See
doing
you.
things. When you wake up, what do you do? I have been married for over 30 years.
Yeah.
My children have never seen we stay with them. They've never seen me beating their mom.
Yeah.
That's what is called training. So that when they go out there, they will
Yes.
then do what they have seen. So we don't say
Yeah.
and do something else. So by having them, it will help. So that's my second one,
Yes.
where I'm saying families be together.
Stay
And
together.
from those that are Christians, I think I will encourage that in the morning, whether 5 minutes, pray together as a family.
Yeah.
Spiritually, it unites you as a family and it
Exactly.
gives you a bond that when your child goes out there, they feel tied together.
Yeah.
Because in the morning, we pray together as a family.
Oh, wow.
As a principle, from the time I married my wife, before the children were there, we pray in the morning. Before we went to work,
Yeah.
we come from an altar to work. So all our children are born into the altar. We pray first, and then they go to school or they go to their workplaces.
Oh, yes.
So that's one solution that can also help.
Very critical.
That kind of a thing. So you are saying, this we cannot deal with. We need a superior God to
Yes,
help
to
us
help us.
in this family.
Yes.
By involving God, He then takes care of other things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very profound. Very profound. And I believe our viewers are really learning from these critical issues that you are highlighting. They need to be together as a family. They need to have that oneness. Very important.
For example, when I was growing up, my father was not necessarily a Christian, but there is one aspect that he brought. we will eat together at the same time.
Yes, at the
And
same time.
for us, we are 10, 5 boys, 5 girls. Him and my mom, that's 12, plus the brothers' children that were there were 16.
Wow.
So when it was supper time, if my father was there, it was supper time for 16 people at the same time. At that time, we used to have, the boys will have your own plates, one plate of salsa, one plate of mrio or something like that, and the girls and things like this. So it developed into that unity of eating together. And that principle I have adopted it. In my home, we eat together at 7.
Wow.
And when it's time to eat, no phone, everyone. We eat together, we are a family, and we eat, we finish. In the process, you are bonding. So it's very important.
Yes.
That has nothing to do whether you are Christian or not.
Exactly.
You just bond when you eat together. Then secondly, depending on the age of your family,
Exactly.
you may still have outings together as a family. You know,
Yes.
you stroll into the park together as a family. So when you do that, it gives the children security,
Yes. Security.
which will be needed so that in the future they are not abused. That they have walked around where mom and dad are there and we are secure. So now, many of us parents, we have never walked with them.
Yes.
And now the next thing is a boy from Norway who wants to walk with them and stroll with them in the park.
Yes.
But that person does not love them. They
Yeah,
just want
want
something.
they want
And at the
something.
end, the children are abused. So parents, let's be involved. Take them into an outing. Go out with them on a social or even just to eat out and things like that. That will help so that our children know, for me, I'm secure.
I'm secure.
Because what then allows them to be abused, most of them, is insecurity, which they don't have at home.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are not there.
Yes.
Let me speak to those that are single parents, because it's
Yes.
not every home
Exactly.
that has a father and a dad. So now you will go to the third community, where now you come back to the community or to the church.
Yeah.
And I will encourage those that are not going to church to go to church.
Exactly.
Because church also provides a community where you can have fathers and mothers that can do. We do a lot of that in our church, where we mother orphans.
Exactly.
Deliberately with the fathers, we allocate you, the good fathers, make sure this. So what do? We invite a lot of children that have no fathers. We invite them into our home so that they see a normal functioning family.
Yeah.
So that's a communal and also
Yes.
linked with the
That will
principle
create-
to say those must be safe homes.
Safe
Again,
homes.
the children can be abused. So those are some
you
of
know,
the things.
Apostle, the things you're saying here, they're so profound. I'm beginning to see the fact that there are so many solutions that we can have for our country. There are solutions for us to deal with many decays. And from what you're saying, I'm seeing a perspective that if we can come together and we kind of deliberate on these things, we'll find practical solutions that will work for our community and we can preserve our nation. We'll come back to those points and continue soon after the break. Viewers, do not go away. We're taking a short break. Welcome, viewers. We have Apostle in the house, and he is sharing very important nuggets. And one of them, just before we went on break, he says we need to go back to become a community. I hope you are not just living as an island, as a family. You need a community to support in the journey, to raise our children, to train them, and to protect them. So, Apostle, you talked about something very important. Communities, building communities. We indeed have solutions for our country. Now, I want you to speak to something. I know we have a few minutes because of time, but I know there's something close to your heart about our daughters. Talk about the fathers and the daughters. We have statistics that are shocking when you go on internet, not only globally, but in our country, of teenagers, of young girls who are being abused. What is your critical advice? What are we going to do as a nation to cover that gap?
Yeah, what a challenge that one is.
Yeah.
But the girl child, first let me try to address the girl child. They are very simple if we do the basic principles, some of them that I was raising. To say the girl child needs their fathers to be present.
Yeah.
And so if the father is present, when we say father here, I know in African culture, like we are 5 brothers. All my brothers
They're
are fathers to my children.
Exactly.
So the natural father may not be there, but others, they can step in as a father. And let's make sure that we assure them we are there for them.
Yes.
And that is very critical. Most of the time, I hold my daughters, you know, and hold them tight and say, my daughter, I am there for you. And I assure them that up and until you have found a better man than me, I will not release you.
Yes.
So that at least they know that they are secure.
Yes.
But now most of us, we have not secured them. What do? The first man they meet who lies to them, I'll take you to the sky.
They're gone.
They are gone. So some of the abuse is our responsibility that we are not there.
Yes.
I normally have also with my daughters and eat out in a hotel, you know, with them one-on-one. I don't take them as a group. I take them one-on-one. So where they chat and say, as a father, also, where have I failed? That's a conversation.
Yeah.
What is your expectation for me to do to you, to provide for you and things like this? So it helps me.
Yeah.
And now in our generation, here is the most painful thing. Traditionally, our children are not supposed to engage us, even in terms of their interest in their boyfriends and things. But my children, for example, you know, they are not children now, they are adults.
Yeah.
We engage them. So we have created an environment to say, bring all your boyfriends, your boy, when I say boyfriends, not technically in a relationship, all the male friends, bring them home. So my children bring their male friends at home in such a way that they are secure. And there are some boys that have refused to come, meaning already their intentions were evil.
Yes.
Because we say we want to protect you in a safe space.
Yeah.
We must know all the people that you relate with.
Yes, transparency.
It's transparency.
Yeah.
So by bringing them, it also gives them, those boys, the responsibility. I cannot do anything evil because I'm known.
Yeah.
So now we sometimes are not helping our girls by having dark moments where they are relating. We don't know the people that they are relating to.
Yes.
They are talking on their phones. We don't know the people that they are talking to. So it's one thing that I think to protect the girl child, be a father that is open, transparent, and you are engaging them.
Yes.
I think,
Right. You know, there's something you once also mentioned, which I feel is a message that still needs to be emphasized. You talked about how important it is for adults to emphasize the message of abstinence to our daughters. Can you shed more light on that?
Yes, I think that is very, very critical. Again, I know some of us, we have failed. But for me, I come from a situation where I have not failed. I married a virgin at 28. I kept myself. I married my wife a virgin. So I'm privileged by God that it's easy for me to do that. But there are others that have not done that. But the context of abstinence helps you not to carry heartbreaks and also have a lot of hurtings that then eventually affect you in the future. So when you are in and out in relationships and you are sexually, there is an attachment that comes emotionally.
Yes.
Because sex is done in the body, physically. So there's emotion to it, so you get attached.
Yeah.
So the more you are sleeping around, the more you are carrying all those people.
Yes.
So now when you get into a marriage, even with the right person, your body will then compare that person with the rest that you have had access to. So abstinence helps you that there is no comparison.
Yeah.
I've been married with my wife for over 30 years. I don't know how any other woman is, so I have no problem because I'm not comparing her to anything.
To anyone.
She is real, she is enough for me, and that's done. So the message of abstinence will protect you that way. So for girls and boys, keep yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, emotions come, but let me tell you, you will not die for not having sex.
Oh, yes.
No one has been recorded for dying without having sex.
Wow. Actually, we have a task ahead of us. And if we're going to rescue our nation, indeed, the things that we've shared here are some of the things that we really need to take on seriously and ensure we preserve the lives of our children. Thank you so much, Apostle Tosin Ndebele, for being here. It has been an honor to have you and to speak to the nation and speak to the globe. Viewers, thank you for joining us today. We had a very critical and deep conversation with Apostle, and he highlighted very important elements. Like I always say, applying is more superior to just learning. If you can glean one or two things that we have shared today, apply them in your home. You're going to begin to see different fruits from thereof. For any questions and inquiries, please do get in touch with us on our WhatsApp number that is showing below. Thank you so much. See you again next time. Goodbye.